What's up, guys? Vince Roddy here, and welcome to, I guess, a bunch of games that I played from OTK slash the mix of this year's Summer Game Fest. I mean, there's so much more games, but I decided to put them two together just to, make my life easier, I guess. But yeah, these are games I was waiting for and games that I was looking forward to, and also ones that has really surprised me, and I can't wait to talk about them because they are just you know new level, and I'm going by this by memory. I don't have notes. I'm freestyling. I'm just like, yo, I'm giving it to you the way I'm giving it to you. Okay, so I might forget some of this, but let's get starting off with our first game, Airframe Ultra. I mean, when I first saw the trailer, I'm immediately thinking of, this is like the last time I did this, was Jack 2 of with the racing mechanic. I guess they have the same thing. This one is in no ways was going to be F-Zero the way that people expected when they saw the trailer, but I saw this and it was like, yeah, this is kind of like giving me Jack 2, but you're in a different area of, vehicle wise. You can go to different areas. The thing is that the game would have been cooler if it was controller based, but it obviously didn't. That couldn't make the game, quite more better the way I wanted, or something in terms of, yeah, this, the fast pace and the tricks. It feels like you do tricks, but not really. You're in some kind of like apocalyptic world or something. I'm just gonna let you know, all of these games, I really don't know the story. I'm gonna be real, but as I'm playing them and going off by memory of just like telling you what I think about these games, yeah, this one right here, just I don't know, it hits. It's like, I like the nostalgic look to it, PS1 style in a sense. And also, I don't know, it reminds me of another game that I has that racing base, but not in this sense, but it does have the same visuals. That's why it's reminding me of it. The PS1 Resident Evil visuals, but you're surviving, or you're riding basically, just skirmishing through like some dumpster facility, or in the apocalyptic world. At least that's what it feels like. I'm looking forward to more playing, especially with the fighting mechanics, how that goes down, because it is solid and it runs well. I feel like for, especially for a game with these old school types of graphics or something, it does, like, in some cases, yeah, it makes sense. Like, it's something that would cater to, people that are older that experience those games, especially in the PS1 or PS2 era. This next one, my goodness, I played this one sitting. I was almost done with, or basically finished with the demo, in terms of what the demo gave me. I'm talking about Big Hops. This game right here is amazing. I love this game. It has the same similar mechanics as Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2, or Mario Odyssey. Just basically Mario, but you're a frog. A kid frog that you use your tongue to go to different areas. You slide through, like, basically your whole world is your playing ground. And I haven't witnessed that game since Little Gator game or something, like, I forget the name of it. Like, I think it's called Little Gator Game, or the Gator Game, or Kid Gator Game. I don't know. It was on the Switch and I finished that. And one thing I enjoyed about that game is that you're using your whole body to skate through this whole entire, playground of each level. But with this one, you're swinging through, but you're also sliding. You're doing different techniques of hopping around, the same mechanics that, Mario Odyssey has. So in some ways, it fits so well as in pretty much one of the best platformers that I played, and especially one of the best demos. I can confidently say that, because it really does cater to what many 3D platforming, veterans are looking for that kind of game. That kind of like freestyle itself, not in the sense of like, I can only picture like a platformer maybe trying to reminisce of like, Tony Hawk, and that would be almost like the most perfect platformer in a sense. But this one really reminiscent to, well, Mario Odyssey, but with its own twist to it, and also its own, like, wackiness of just like adventures, like the amount of stuff that you can do in this game and collect. I just love, it's cutesy, it's going for that flow, and pretty much guarantee it's gonna be on the Switch or Switch 2. And yeah, I really just enjoy that. And speaking of platformers, next platform right here is Billie Bust Up. I've been following and pretty much wondering, like, okay, what I've been seeing, like, especially, what is it? There was a video or slash music video, because this is a musical platforming type of game. The thing is that what gets me with the game that I find interesting is that it's very reminiscent to, like, people that are fans of Has-Been Hotel, that are fans of, Murder Drones, or basically indie animations. And man, does it ride that, because they even have one of the voice actors that plays almost all those, roles, and all these, like, especially, whatever, like, Glitch puts out, or if you're following in terms of animation, like, Has-Been Hotel, or, what is it? The Digital Circus. One of the voice actors actually voice acting, and I can hear the voice. I'm like, that is Angel Dust. That is so freaking Angel Dust. And I'm talking about, Billie Bust Up, which is, I really am curious of the story. You play as a goat, and you go into these wacky adventures, meaning these different characters, these different monsters, and pretty much you're battling them, but also in a musical sense that it gives you. I don't know. It is catered to the furry community itself. I can just smell that in this freaking game. I could smell the furries. But yeah, this is just so good. The platform, I feel like for my PC, it didn't really do justice of how it looked or something like that. But overall, I really enjoyed just actually get a piece of just like what this game's about. And I feel like it's not that difficult. At first I thought it was going to be difficult, because it really showcased that you kind of have to be perfect in terms of what it's giving you, and also what you have to go through in each level or something like that. And overall for me, it wasn't that hard. I didn't have a hard time of just like following through, because I was kind of worried about that. But overall, especially for my PC, it did its thing. It did its, it was okay. Next up is Felbound. I guess this is another roguelike right here. I don't know. I play so many roguelikes, I just couldn't keep up. I'm telling you right now. And this one, I like the hack and slash. I like the dungeon crawler aspect to it. For this kind of roguelikes, yeah, you expect certain aspects of it where it's like, yeah. I mean, the collectathon is something that I was mainly interested of the game, and also leveling up your, weapons and stuff. And I guess it's your typical dungeon crawler with cool enemies that you battle. Yeah, that's what it's giving me. I guess from what I got from it, there was a part of this, gamer in me where I'm like, yo, let me go freaking splurge on so many roguelikes where I just couldn't keep up. I think that's the same thing with Ascend. But for Felbound, yeah, I think I got the same amount from that. And it runs well. It's pixelated. It should run well. And yeah, I from what I remember, I got a good time of actually playing this. Action roguelikes, are one of my favorite roguelikes for sure. Moving on was mechanimals. I was like, whatever, I'm gonna check this, just fill up my, station. And it was okay. I feel like for a beat 'em up slash like cutesy character, kind of like, I don't know what it's, giving. It's a freaking beat 'em up roguelike stylized with mechs and cute animals. And yeah, it did its thing. It's sort of giving me like Nickelodeon cartoon on a Saturday night type vibes. Not a Saturday night, on a Saturday. Okay, Saturday night is Nick at Night, if anybody remembers. And you pretty much do interesting aspects of like co-op. So it's kind of catered into that sense of just like co-op play if you play with other players and stuff. And of course, with its 4 characters, I just can't get over the freaking bird character. Look how serious his face is. It's just like, bro, are you okay? The little bird character, that's what got me into playing the game. I'm gonna be real. Like the characters itself, it's cutesy, and I guess it's catered to a young audience just by looking at it. Yeah, I don't know. But what's interesting is that from the animators, they were behind Kung Fu Panda in the Mario movie, so that's crazy. So, I can feel like the, cartoony classicness in its iconic form. And I'm very surprised. Like, okay, well, the people from, the animators from Kung Fu Panda and Mario movie, they made this game. I'm like, that's kind of insane. So basically, the expectations is like, pretty big. If you're gonna say like, you made the Kung Fu Panda, I love Kung Fu Panda. Okay, that's one of my all-time favorites. But also the Mario movie was, man, I don't understand people's hate for Mario movie. I really enjoyed the Mario movie. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for more of it. But other than that, I was like, yep, expectations, and so far it's okay. It's a-okay. I still gotta get used to the fighting and also the combos. Just working that all together to have a solid beat 'em up experience. Next up is emotional game. This game, man. This game got me. I don't know what to tell you. My Little Puppy. I almost deleted this game. I was looking at this game. I was like, why is this here? Why is this here? But can I just say right now, I honestly love this game. This wouldn't, sure enough, Big Hops was, because it run well on my PC. This game wasn't running well. I literally just couldn't. I had to look up a demo walkthrough, just basically watching someone else play it, because I want to experience the game in its story. Its story is very interesting. Dogs, if you're familiar with Dogs Go Into Heaven or something like that, like there was a movie long time ago of I still remember, like as a kid, like seeing like what All Dogs Go to Heaven. I think that's what it's called. But also, My Little Puppy, I guess in some ways it's not really connected to the story. I mean, for whatever reason, it's connected to freaking John Wick. What's John Wick doing here? What is he doing here? He went to heaven. I mean, shoot, I guess, this is sort of related to John Wick 5, if that's going to be a thing. I'm kidding. It shouldn't be. He's retired. And apparently dead, because he's in heaven. Now, as a Christian, I kind of don't really see any resemblance of it being a Christian type game. Like, where's Jesus at? Like, that should be the first person to see when you go to heaven. Jesus, where are you at? You know what I'm saying? Where Jesus at? Where is our Heavenly Father? Hello? You mentioned heaven. Hello? But, whatever. It's a cartoon. It's not really supposed to take seriously. Even though it kind of did. And I really do want to do a full review of actually talking about My Little Puppy whenever it comes out. This game is emotional. It's emotional. Listen, I don't know about you. I saw a baby in... This is not a spoiler, but I saw a baby in heaven. That alone, just... I honestly floored. I floored. I was like, oh... Nope. No, Vince, nope. Don't do it. Don't cry now. Like, I just saw that. I was like, damn it. And it gives you a key of, like, they were not ready to hold back. In the beginning, it's emotional. When they had their welcome party, that got me emotional. I'm like, how did these people, where are they? And also the puppy is wondering, like, where is his owner / daddy? And that's basically what the game is. You're looking for the daddy, but apparently the dad is not in heaven, or the owner. I mean, I don't know. Maybe puppies call their owners daddies. I don't freaking know. I never own a pet. But it's like when you understood, like if you know what is happening in the story, that's what got me emotional. It's like, you know what? Not everyone goes to heaven. I mean, shoot, I can argue like a lot of people don't go to heaven. I can tell you that much. But if, just to, calm down, okay? Yeah. I already knew where this guy is. The game is amazing. You interact in the first realm, and later on you would venture into this, experience of like, especially it being a platformer. You go into different areas. You can also, it's like also like somewhat of a stealth game in a sense, and also interaction. And it's a very adorable. It's the best thing. I made the right decision of not deleting this game, because I had a bunch of games, and I was like, yo, let me take a break. Let me go, just experience these other games that I have already. Nah, I couldn't like I didn't expect what I saw on My Little Puppy, and I'm just looking forward to the full game. I'm really am. It's so good. It's so beautiful. It's so emotional. The music, the story, and also I love puppies. And this right here, man, it's a God-given. It's a God given, bro. It's so good. Oh man, my little puppy. It's just the best. Moving on, Neon Inferno. This game is just straight up Contra Costa goodness with its nostalgic flow. The thing is that I did not change the settings. I could have easily turned off the neon settings, but it is called Neon, and I'm like, okay, well, with this game called Neon Inferno, let me see what it's about. The name lives up to it because it's like freaking blaze of neon just flashing through your eyes with its nostalgic take on Contra Costa, but with also you shoot stuff from behind, so it collaborates those different gaming mechanics and does it well. Pretty violent, pretty hard, doesn't hold back, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed myself actually playing Neon Inferno. It's arcadey and it's pretty much purest form, I would say. I played the female character for the most of the part, by the way. So, that's another thing. Moving on. We gotta talk about this FPS goodness. It's nostalgic. It's something that really I enjoy of just witnessing through the game. And it's pretty much called Amica? Project Amica. Like you started off from a jungle forest that looks like something out of Sonic. And it's an FPS. And immediately I was like, yo, I kind of want this already. And it's not hard. I did witness another boomer shooter / FPS, that I didn't enjoy. So I kind of lost faith of a lot of FPS at the moment, or at least I'm not excited to. But from seeing this and playing it, I really enjoyed it. It's arcade. It's also just the platforming throughout this game is pretty good. That's important when it comes to an FPS like this. And the levels, especially it giving me Sega vibes, I really enjoyed it. It's such a 1990s shooter with retro boomer. It's a boomer shooter, basically. I didn't know much about the story or anything, but I really enjoyed the level settings and the gun mechanics and what it's giving. So, yeah, it's just pretty good. Next game is called Relic Guardian. Now, it's been a while since I played a freaking dungeon defender type game, tower defense game. And with its strategy and everything, I was like, yo, this is about time. Because especially for something pixelated, I was excited. There was some summoning aspects to it where if you know me, if you know anything about Christians, we just don't vibe with people, with the whole summoning and, rituals and stuff. And let me tell you, the next game, I'm going to get into that. But for this one, yeah, it's pretty solid. I did dig the tutorial so far. I can tell you that much. With its actions and sort of skill tree and, just different aspects of what it's giving you, especially as a 2D tower defense game, which is, I never really played one of those, but here it is. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really miss playing the 3D tower defense games instead of the ones that you're kind of relying through, you just your keyboard or something. Instead, there's tower defense games out there where you're literally, going, I think one of them was Orcs Die or something like that, and you just place traps and in true a first person setting, in the sense of just you walking up to this area, placing a trap. Instead of this, you're kind of placing it, you see the whole layout basically of what it is as a tower defense 2D game, and it does it well. The levels is creative. The visuals is pretty nice, especially it being a pixelated game. It does it right, and I guess I find myself liking a lot of pixelated games. But overall, yeah, I really, just enjoy, especially for, it's been a while. Pixelated games is something that is a lost art form, at least in my head, of something that I honestly haven't touched for the longest time. I don't know why. There is a part of me where maybe if I come back, I would find it as enjoyable as I used to enjoy it. But so far, this game just does its trick. Next up is not only the last one in a bunch of games that I've been, trying and stuff like that. I guess it's the last game right here. Silly X Poly Beast. Now, for this game itself, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's demonic. It's sort of it's a horror game. It's a horror / stealth, top-down shooter, survival horror game. And pretty much for its story and stuff like that, I guess you're trying to find your sister or something. I don't know. The story is about a girl who, by the will of fate. I don't understand why people use FATE instead of FAITH, which is what actual fate is. Hello? Like, what's that? I just noticed that. I don't know what that means. Like, is it something against God or something? Like, what's up? Anyways, has faced the beast in order to become free. She is forced to study its nature. Basically, within the game, you go and you basically bump into this it's this individual, okay, this mummy individual. I don't know what's really it looks weird. Okay, all its characters look weird, and you're kind of tied up to forcing to help this to actually, like you're helping this like mummy character or something, or forced to basically, find the keys and set free. At least that's the first like level of, or not the first objective of the game. Okay, I attained the objective in the beginning before that because you kind of fall into a pit, and then something is happening in the world. People are looking for you for whatever reason. I feel bad for the girl because she's like 18 and she's young, and it feels like all this stuff is happening. Yes, I understand we saw like Last of Us, but there's a part of me where I'm looking at this and I'm just like, this is just sad. Also creepy because this girl goes through a lot, seeing a whole bunch of slew of monsters, but also a bunch of creeps and stuff like that, and people that are trying to kill like the enemies and stuff. Is like, what is their motive with this girl is something that disturbs me. It really does. But also another thing aspect of this game, there is some demonic like energy within the game, at least from what I kind of felt and see. And I'm like, man, okay, well, I'm not going to be too kind of this game in terms of just like what visuals it's trying to give. And there's stuff here and there that I rebuke. But also, I enjoy the, the shooting mechanics, the weaponry. You have a skateboard. I didn't get a chance to ride it in the game as I'm recording this, it is what it is. But overall, yeah, it's for something of this nature, horror in a sense, I don't know. You're battling demons, but at the same time, you turn into one. I'm trying to make sense. I'm really trying. Is there a message here? Is there freaking... one day there will be games out there that would mention Jesus. That'd be the day. That would be the day. It will make your game nice. Not even My Little Puppy mentioned Jesus, but it mentioned heaven. So, what are we doing here? Games and God just doesn't mix. I don't understand why. Like, why that cannot be a thing, okay? Anyways, whatever. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. Those are the games. I'm going to get into it with the other games, which is, what is it? Yeah, the Wholesome Games Direct. Oh boy, that's another pack of games, I guess. One love of the peace. And, of course, God bless.